Hi, it's Nurse Cathy. Hope you've had a great week. Well, this week we're going to talk about safety in the home. You know, we're so busy these days with trying to manage working at home and our kids having remote learning. So oftentimes we forget about some of the basic necessities to keeping our home safe. Well, first and foremost, a smoke detector is a necessity. It's not an option. You need to make sure you have working smoke detectors and that you change the batteries frequently. The next thing I would recommend is a fire extinguisher. Just a home fire extinguisher. Make sure that everyone in the family knows how to use it. They're going to pull the pin, they're going to aim, they're going to squeeze, and they're going to sweep. Also make sure that everyone has read the label and they know what type of fires that you can put out with that fire extinguisher. Just remember, if you have an electrical fire, you cannot put that out with water. It will cause it to spread very rapidly. So you'd have to use something like baking soda to put that out. But if you're in doubt of what type of fire you've got, just head to the nearest exit and dial 911. Next, I want to talk about your furnace. It's so sad to hear of someone who has a fire that's related to a furnace, and there's been damage not only to the home, but also sometimes there's been loss of life related to it. So do something for you and your family, and that is to spend, it's probably about $100 to have someone come out and service your furnace to make sure it's in proper working order for the winter months. Now we're going to talk about open flames. If you're a smoker, you need to make sure that your cigarette or smoking material has been completely extinguished. Also, I recommend that you put up all lighters, matches, or any type of smoking material when children are around, because sometimes they're very curious and those curious minds can get the best of them. And then the other thing is candles. This time of year especially, we like the smell of the candles. It makes us feel all warm and cozy, but they can be dangerous. And oftentimes we forget about those candles and we leave an unattended candle, and then before we know it, there's a fire. So what I would recommend is that if you're going to light a candle, that you set a timer on your clock or your phone, so that say if you're going to be going out, set a timer so that you remember to extinguish that flame before you leave, or to extinguish it, say, before you go to bed. Next thing I want to talk about is accidental overdose of medication and ingestion of poisonous substances. Now, we have a lot of curious minds out there, and our ERs have numerous cases of children coming in who have accidentally taken medications, and a lot of them are over-the-counter medications, or they have ingested some sort of poisonous material. Now, I know this for a fact because I'm in the ER every weekend, and we see those cases that are coming through the door. So what I recommend is that you secure and put up the medications away from children, out of their reach. If you have prescription bottles, I recommend that if you have the cap where you can make it a child-resistant cap, that you keep those on. As far as your over-the-counter meds, that option isn't available with that type of packaging. So I recommend, just as a whole, that you keep all medication up and out of the reach of children. Now, here's a prime example how I learned my lesson, and also my daughter learned her lesson. I had some X-Lax medication up high in a cupboard, but the cupboard was not locked. And my daughter decided, as a child, to climb up on the counter and go through the cupboards, and she found the X-Lax, and she thought it was chocolate. So she learned her lesson, and I did too. The other thing that I would recommend that everyone have is a first aid kit. Now, they're really inexpensive if you're buying one, or you can make one up on your own. But I recommend that you have a first aid kit, and not only in your home, but also in your car. We're very fortunate in the workplace that we have a device called an AED, which is a very simple device for individuals to initiate CPR with. It tells you exactly what to do to initiate that until EMT can arrive. Now, we don't have that in our homes, so I thoroughly recommend that you contact the American Heart Association or the American Red Cross to see what they have that they could provide class-wise for you to learn basic CPR for the non-healthcare provider, and also basic first aid. I'm not sure with the situation with the COVID and things like that, what they're doing for class-wise, where everything is maybe online. I don't know if they have a hands-on experience either, but if you contact the American Heart Association or the American Red Cross, they can guide you toward some kind of classes or instruction that you could receive. Just want to give you a little statistic. The national average for an ambulance to arrive is total about 8 minutes. And it takes 3 to 4 minutes for someone who has a blocked airway to either die or suffer severe damage. So please try to contact your American Red Cross or your American Heart Association and see what you can do to learn basic CPR and first aid. Now, that's all for me today. I want to ask you to please tune in to see Ashley on Monday. She's going to talk about fall foods. She's going to talk about elderberry and herbal remedies. So take care and have a great weekend.